Alright, that's as good a time as ever to scroll through Twitter. What? So, if you haven't heard by now, on February 2nd at about 1 a.m. in the morning, the LA Lakers received a drunk text from Dallas Mavs owner Nico Harris. In its wake, the NBA community experienced the trade of trades and was sent into a frenzy.
This is not clickbait. This trade is real.
I wake up and oh, why did they do it? I wake up, I look at my phone. It feels like the internet isn't real, and I'm like,
I still cannot believe that this is the reality that we are living in right now, where the Dallas Mavericks have Luka goddamn Doncic, and they traded for Anthony Davis.
Just like everyone else, the only real remaining question I have is, why? Here's what we know already, what to know, and what we should know to answer the question. Why did this trade happen? So, here's the deal in question, but it all boils down to the main components. Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis. Trades like this happen sometimes where a team looking for veteran skill and trade futures that doesn't always pan out, but in a trade where a young superstar is swapped for an aging veteran and the future looks bright for only one side, namely the Paul George Shai Gilgeous-Alexander trade back in 2019, has its drawbacks. Paul George hasn't done much with the Clippers in his 5 years and change there, and Shai is now the face of the Thunder, who are currently the best team in the Western Conference at video's release. Let's dive a little deeper now. Anthony Davis came into this season going to turn 32 years of age. His body of work, albeit great for when needed, has been overshadowed by his re-emerging injury history that keeps turning up. As of right now, Davis has been averaging 26 points and 12 rebounds with average shooting splits with a PER of 27.4, well above average. From a numbers standpoint, it seems like he should stick around as a second option behind LeBron, being only 5 years removed from a championship run. So why trade him? And why for Luka? Remember the video I made 4 years ago disparaging the several teams who passed on Luka in 2018? Good. This time, for real, it's time to talk about Luka Doncic. Here they are again. Luka Doncic's stats in 2021. His third year in the NBA, PER included. Yeah, I'd agree that's pretty good for a 21-year-old. Let's look at his numbers currently. That's a significant uptake, and we're only halfway through this season. Luka is only 25 years old and is only scratching the surface of his prime. The issues with Luka, unfortunately, lie within the organization itself.
They don't think they can win with him. They're worried about the kind of defense he plays. They're worried about the kind of way he keeps himself in condition.
Honestly, the value that he brings to the franchise, to the NBA, to this organization, it's immeasurable. I feel like we're going to be champions, and it will be because of Luka.
Over the summer, quite a lot happened. Luka was set to balloon up to about 260 pounds, and moreover, had a $345 million Supermax deal coming his way in the offseason, which he is no longer eligible for, that the organization wouldn't pay. However, I think that we're forgetting that this is Luka Doncic we are talking about. Above average PER. His stats this year practically match his career stats. He put up 73 points in the game last year, and let's not forget, he led this team to the finals last year.
Doncic delivers for the lead. Got it! What a shot! Dallas has taken the lead.
Let's talk a little bit about team trajectory, specifically from the previous 5 years, where of course the Lakers won their most recent championship, and the Mavericks made the playoffs thanks to Luka's emergence as a superstar. The beauty of the situation comes with the fact that both teams are in the same conference. Up until this year, both franchises have seen an equal amount of success with the odd playoff options from both sides despite filled competitive rosters each year. While that is the case, the Mavericks have seen to have the upside in playoff staying power. The Lakers now have a 40-year-old LeBron James as the team's focal point, coupled with Anthony Davis. In their championship run, they had the likes of Dwight Howard, J.R. Smith, Alex Caruso, and Markieff Morris. Now post-trade, they'll have a roster with Jackson Hayes, Cam Reddish, Austin Reeves, and Markieff Morris. Back in 2020, the Mavericks were Luka led with guys like Kristaps Porzingis and Jalen Brunson. Now post-trade looks a bit better on the surface with Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, and Derek Lively. The only issue? 30 plus. Yikes. We have to need you like LeBron does. With a trade of this magnitude, the immediate outlook is going to be who wins the trade. It was headed up with Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook. It's like that with Julius Randle and Karl Anthony Towns. The season is only at its midway point, but both of these teams are at different ends of the same spectrum. LA is currently in 5th place and is in wake of the looming retirement of LeBron James, but the roster is filled with role players who are in need of maybe 2 superstars to carry them to relevance. Dallas is the reigning conference champion with 2 aging big-name superstars on their roster, but they're currently 8th in the West. AD, despite his age and recurring injuries, will more than likely add sizable depth to an aging top-heavy Mavericks roster to get them immediate playoff push to get them out of the potential play-in tournament status. LeBron will turn 41 next December, and whether he sticks around and try and win his 5th championship won't mean much at the surface. He knows his time is coming eventually, and the Lakers will already have their future in place by acquiring Luka, who will be the face of the franchise once the king is ready to abdicate the throne. Trades like this happen in most, if not all, sports. Sometimes it works out for one side, ask the New York Yankees. Sometimes it works out for the other side, ask the Minnesota Vikings. Sometimes it works out for neither side, ask Ricky Williams and the 1999 Washington Redskins. For what it's worth, we can't predict what comes in the aftermath of the trade. All we can afford to do in these times is to wait and see what unfolds, because whether it works out for the Mavericks or the Lakers, we will forever talk about the trade of trades. And Nico, if you're listening, I pray you take the advice of one Charles Barkley.
Man, don't do no more press conferences. Like, I don't even know what you're doing.
Yeah, I know, the video's late. Look, I started production in early February, but a lot has happened since then. So I'm honestly just glad that I got it out now, and I really hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.